Welcome to Understanding Unreal, a new series where we'll cover many gameplay topics, design concepts, and mechanics, and much more that will dive deep into Unreal. But this will also relate to the process of game development as a whole. If you're just starting with Unreal, don't be afraid. This series is beginner friendly while still addressing advanced topics and features that even some longtime Unreal users can find helpful. We will explain many concepts and reference back to other videos. So, of course, if you missed something or if you find something that you really want to learn, but there's something addressed that maybe references back to another video, I may have a separate video explaining the topic in depth or have explained that topic in depth in a previous video. So, we try to outline things and go over the understanding of why we do things over just doing them and showing you a final result. This series will show you many things like first person, third person camera movement and control, switching between them. We'll have inventory systems, weapon system, interaction between obviously world objects and different things that affect the world, but also quests, NPCs. So that stuff will be affected, but also combat, friendly and foe NPCs. So not just quest givers, but obviously, aggro NPCs and maybe neutral ones that will roam around the world. We'll cover stuff like that. Living world systems, like stuff that may not affect the user or the player at hand, but maybe just makes the world feel more alive. But they can be interacted with, and we'll go over stuff like that. We'll address vehicles, flying and wheeled vehicles, and we'll do much more. This is obviously much mechanic based, but we'll understand concepts and certain ways to tackle the creation of your own mechanics as well. To prepare, install the Epic Games Launcher and Unreal Engine 5 if you haven't already. I'm going to be on the latest version of UE 5.4.3, but this should work for any future options. Of course, we know that they change buttons or move where certain options are at certain version engines. So if something can't be found where exactly I find it, potentially looking up the documentation for the new location can be helpful. If you don't have the Epic Games Launcher or know how to install Unreal, please watch this YouTube video. It will be in the iCard as well as in the description below. We'll also want these free assets that you can find in the Epic Games Launcher under Unreal in the marketplace. These are totally free, and I believe these are also all royalty free, so if you do happen to want to use these, but check that for each asset and any free assets you decide to use. If you have a project, go ahead and add these assets to your project, or if you have your own animations and weapons, you may not need many of what we have. This is just to get started for general animations and objects. And of course, if you don't already have a project, make sure you're subscribed to stay around for the next video where we will be creating our first Unreal Engine project, adding some of these assets, and getting the base set up for what we're going to do with this series.